Good day to you. In one of our last videos we had spoken about what could happen to the economy if the situation of lockdown was to continue. In a solution to that, the government has started to come up with strategies to overcome the situation, like easing up of lockdown restrictions in the orange and green zones, giving permissions to certain sectors to resume work, monetary assistance to the public, and etc. So, one of the important initiatives taken by our government is the announcement of an economic stimulus package by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 12th of May. What is an economic stimulus package? An economic stimulus package is a package of measures put together by a government to improve the situation of financial crisis of its economy to prevent a recession. This is usually a combination of both monetary stimulus and fiscal stimulus. Monetary stimulus is where the government comes forward by providing a certain amount of money in the form of aid to certain sectors. Whereas a fiscal stimulus is the one in which a government cuts down the tax rates and interest rates to help the economy. Why talk about this now? Does India need one? The average growth rate of Indian economy is supposed to be 6 to 7%. Yet due to the great lockdown period, the current growth rate has dipped drastically to 1.2%, leading to the loss in livelihood and unemployment, with lack of money in the hands of public. If this downward trend were to continue, it would push the economy to a recession and further to a depression, thus leading to a necessity of an economic stimulus. Now let us see the key important highlights of the Atmanirbhar Abhiyam Package announced by our Finance Ministry. What are the top key initiatives of the package for employees and taxpayers? The Employees' Provident Fund deductions have been reduced to 20% from 24%. We might have heard about TPF, in which the employer and the employee contribute a certain amount to this scheme. This amount could be availed during resignation, termination or retirement. Next, there is also a reduction in the tax deducted at source, TDS, and the tax collected at source, TCS, by 25%. TDS is the amount of tax payable by any company or a person making a payment, the best example with salaries. And TCS is the tax payable by a seller, that is collected from the buyer during the time of sale. The next one is a reduction from 12% to 10% in the Statutory Provident Fund. You might be wondering, what is SPF? It is similar to EPF but exclusively for government or semi-government employees, universities and other institutions specified under the PF Act. Lastly, the deadline for tax payment has been extended to 30th November. All of these are done so that the employee would take in hand more pay, but it would affect the savings in the long term. What do I get from this? We can see that our government has taken quite some initiatives through the package in all the sectors. But whether this is enough to stop the downtrend is still a question mark, as some of it may have different and adverse effects on our growth and style. Everything has its own advantage and disadvantages. If you would like us to explain any component of the Atmanirbhar package, please comment your choices in the section below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative updates on the package. To stay tuned, hit on the bell icon. See you in our next video.